Hey Libras, I hope you guys are doing great. It's Tipsy here to do your money and career reading for whenever you find this message. Let's jump right in and start by pulling a card to see what area of your life is most being impacted by money right now. And we have two that came out. We have home and we have love. Interesting. Now let's pull another card to see what question Spirit wants you to ask yourself right now. And what we have for you is responsibilities. How are your beliefs around your obligations to others impacting your choices around money? Taking a hard look, which of these beliefs stems from a fact and which is something that you tell yourself that keeps you stuck? Oh, okay, Libra. So we have home and love at sort of the center of the energy surrounding your money. And we also have responsibilities. So there might be a sense of obligation that you have when it comes to your finances, where you sort of take care of everybody and everything around you. And it might feel as though it's starting to become a bit of a burden, that maybe you're getting to the point where you don't have enough for yourself because you're trying to make sure that there's enough for everyone else. And I feel like you might be doing this from the best place, from because you're a good person, but I also almost feel like there's a bit of pressure on you because you might be doing well. It's like, well, you have all of this. You need to share it with other people. You need to share it with your family. You need to give to this person. You need to give to that person. And it's almost as though you feel that you have to do this. It's not even a situation where you're doing it because you absolutely want to, and I don't think it's a situation where, you're just a bad person and you want to see people go without, but it almost feels as though you're stretching yourself beyond what should be expected of sort of any one person. And it almost feels as though you're obligated to help everyone around you, even if sometimes it's to your own detriment. So let's dig into some tarot and see what is happening with you and money right now, Libra. Starting with your foundation. What's happening with your financial foundation? We have the Ace of Pentacles. This is new opportunity. This is something tangible. This is something substantial that you have come into. So I think right now, Libra, for all intents and purposes, you're doing pretty well when it comes to your finances. That there's some abundance here for you. It's almost as if you've gotten a fresh start. And people are sort of looking at it like, okay, Libra's coming up in the world. Libra done come up in the world. And we have the Two of Cups in reverse. So I just heard more money, more problems. So it almost feels as though that this newfound abundance has come with a bit of unhappiness. And not because you're making the money, but it almost feels as though other people around you, their response is causing you more stress than I think what you anticipated. So let's take a peek at the external factors. What's going on around you? We have the Princess of Cups. Let's clarify that a little bit for my Libras. What's happening in their environment? And we have the Two of Swords. So it feels as though what's happening in your external environment is that there is pressure. There are people, I feel like, who are very convinced that you should be giving more, that you should be offering more. And it almost feels to the point where they might, I don't use the term bullying lightly, but it almost seems as though they're bullying you into giving them. Constantly giving, making sure that they're okay. It feels as though those are sort of the pressures that are coming in for you. And you're trying to be a good person. You're trying to do the right thing. So it feels as though you're constantly giving in to this. People are looking at you as though your sort of elevated status in money and career is their opening. It's their opening. So what we have in terms of obstacles and opportunities, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So this is Three of Cups upright is celebration with friends. This is happiness. This is joy. This is excitement. And I think that you're starting to see that the people that you have around you, while they may be happy for you, they are taking this opportunity to try and get something for themselves. And so I think that that's the biggest challenge. But the opportunity for you, quite frankly, Libra, is to cut off people who are using you. For people who are using you for your money, for your relationships, for whatever you have to offer, whatever you sort of built for yourself. These folks are trying to get their little piece of that. And this might be even a situation where, Libra, you haven't heard from somebody in forever, but there's an announcement that you've gotten a promotion or a new role or some sort of award or financial windfall or whatever the situation is. And these folks kind of pop back up like, oh, hey, Libra, haven't talked to you in 27 years, but I heard the good news. How you been? And you're kind of sitting up there looking like, do I know you? Because I don't think that I do. And I think that it's becoming more and more obvious, I think, for some folks in your life, Libra, that they are not truly team Libra. They're team, what can they get from Libra? And so I feel like you have extended yourself, whether it's financially, doing favors for people, things like that. And you're starting to realize that this pressure, this is not making you happy. And so I think the opportunity is for you being able to step away from these people, to be able to cut out the folks who are, in this for themselves, to cut out the folks who are a little bit sneaky, a little bit deceptive, kind of underhanded. Now, your best approach moving forward. Okay, all right. We have the Five of Swords, we have the Princess of Pentacles, and we also have the Hanged One in reverse. So this to me, Libra, is gaining clarity. Is gaining clarity on who you feel obligated to and why. Because it feels like you are consistently going out of your way to help other people, and it's not really doing much for you. And I don't think that it's because you have some sort of deep, huge relationship with these folks. It feels as though you care about them and somehow you feel responsible for helping them. And you have to ask yourself, I think, is this serving me? Is this benefiting me in any way? Is this hindering what I'm building for myself? Consistently being concerned with making sure that everybody else is okay. And so it feels like Spirit is saying, you know what? There has to be a little bit of moderation here. Like, there's nothing wrong with giving to people. We have the Princess of Pentacles, right? And in traditional tarot, this is the Page of Pentacles. This is not the king. This is not the emperor. This is not someone who consistently gives big, who gives grand, right? This is someone who gives a little bit, who gives where they can. They're very measured in what they offer to other people. So this is sort of you standing up for yourself and saying, you know what? I can't give like I used to, because it's taking a toll on me. And so maybe this is you sort of reevaluating where you are financially, making sure that you stay in that stable place, helping the people that you want to, but not letting them drain you. Whether it's, again, your money or the work that you do, the favors that you do for people when it comes to your work life. So Spirit is saying, open your eyes and see that you're not under any obligation to help people who are not for you. You don't have to help people who are only in it for themselves, who are only trying to use you for what you have. Now, looking at your future's outcome, your potential outcome, we have the 10 of Torches, and let's see if we can clarify that a little bit further. We have the 7 of Pentacles. So I think that there is going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think, for you, Libra, cutting these folks off. And I'm sighing a little bit because it feels very heavy. It feels very heavy, almost as if you think you're going to be letting people down. With the 10 of Wands, this is someone who has a burden, right, that they've been carrying. But 10s are all about completion. They're the last before you go on to the ace. So this is you sort of laying down those burdens and planting these seeds for yourself. This is you being very selective about where you put your time, where you put your money, and figuring out what the reward is for you in doing so. This is you being very intentional in cultivating where your energy goes. And that could be energy in the form of money, energy in the form of working, helping people, etc. And so we also have the 3 of Swords. This is a card of disappointment. This is a card of betrayal and heartbreak. And I think that there's going to be a little bit of that on all sides, Libra. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I think that there's going to be some disappointment that comes to you when you sort of come into this awareness about the people that you've been supporting, about the people that you've had in your life who did not necessarily have the best intentions for you, that were simply sort of using you for what you had to offer. So I think there'll be disappointment from you, and there's going to be disappointment from those people that you start cutting off, that you start releasing. I think that there's going to be a little bit of blowback, like, oh, you're not going to help anymore. You're not going to let me hold a little something. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. Tune it out, Libra. Tune it out, because all that is entitlement on their side. And they're not entitled to anything that you've built for yourself. And you're not responsible for them and supporting their livelihood, supporting their lifestyle. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. It's truly, truly okay. So one last card that we have give back. Donate to your community or causes that are closest to your heart. It creates an energy of abundance around you and your business. So again, what we saw in your future's outcome, Libra, we saw the 7 of Pentacles. And we saw the 10 of Torches, laying down this burden and being much more selective about where you spend your time, your money, and your energy. And so it feels like with this card, Spirit is saying to only give to those people, causes that you are truly, truly invested in. Those things that make your heart happy. Not those things that you feel absolutely obligated to give to. Giving should be an act of love, right? And I'm not feeling that you're loving the people, places, and situations that you're giving to right now. So this might be a good time to sort of reevaluate where you're putting that energy, where you're putting that money. Because it feels like there are some folks that you need to release, some folks who are taking advantage. So Libras, I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope that this was helpful and I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.